asked Rob so many times, please be nice to my mum. And his reply was, I always am. I've never not been nice to your mum. And this is the proof. He's not nice to my mum. He was the one that started taking everything my mum was saying as an attack, which wasn't the case. And Rob snapped and was like, oh, you guys are family only. Oh, this, that, how can you talk to me like that? And it's like, that's gonna be nice. He is the problem.
Okay. Okay. You know what's so crazy, right? How can your mum come over, make a joke? Rob responds to it, cool, calm, and collected. But then your mum provokes the joke and says, oh, you got mad. And then you see your mum has the hero or whatever. You see Rob as the villain. Now listen, of course, we all know that once Rob is ticked off, he goes on a whole freaking rant about his upbringing. It's so freaking boring. Like, we know about your upbringing so many times now. Sometimes when I'm watching Rob, I feel like I'm watching an episode of like X Factor or like Britain's Got Talent or America's Got Talent. You know, like when they've always got like a sob story of the person coming in. Yeah, you know, so this is what I went through. Blah, 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 blah. Or you're watching, oh no, better yet, 600 pound life. There's always a sob story about da 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 da. You know, so you can connect with the viewers on a sympathetic viewership or whatever. That's exactly what Rob is. You know what I mean? He's that guy. He's that guy. Every time he's in a mood, he's looking for those sympathy votes. It's freaking annoying. It's freaking draining. But it doesn't change the fact that Sophie has no right to be saying that Rob is the problem in the situation because her mom had a big part to play in it. And to be honest with you, she's actually quite lucky that Rob didn't actually overreact the first time because to be honest with you, there's a lot of people that wouldn't like somebody making a joke about pushing their mom over. Let's just keep it a buck. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real. If you know that you don't really have a good relationship with somebody, you don't really know that person's always giving you a hard time, but then they want to make a joke about, you know, pushing your mom or anyone that you know and you love, realistically, a lot of us are going to be in our feelings about it. We're going to be like, rah, that was a bit too far. Like, I know you was joking, but please don't do that. You know what I mean? But that wasn't the case. That's far from the case. But it's okay though, you know. Sophie can continuously defend her mom, and it is what it is.
Everybody got an opinion, but ain't nobody out here doing it themselves. I'm doing it else. I don't got no roommate. I don't got no parents helping me out. I don't got nothing. I'm just doing it on my own. Neither of them have anything close to the idea of what it's like to live your life. And no, if you don't hold it down, that's your ass.
But then this is where my beef comes in with Rob the knob. My beef with him is this year. If you know you've had such a tough life, why would you choose to be with somebody that can't relate with you? Or not even that, better yet, you don't even have to be with someone that can't relate with you. Why can't you be with someone that wants to understand you and then not trigger your issues? But to be honest with you, his whole rant about him and his struggles is rather pathetic because to be honest with you, all the mum pretty much did was explain that, hey, I'm not really a fan of the fact that you brought my daughter over here to the States, but you didn't even have your shits together. It would have been more manly, more acceptable, okay, if at least you had things in place. You had a bathroom in our vicinity, do you know what I mean? You was living in a place that had more space in it, you know what I'm saying? Because generally speaking, for me, I would take pride in making sure that I live in an accommodation that a woman can live with me. If I'm not living in an accommodation that a woman can live with me, I'm definitely not bringing her over to stay, you know what I mean? That's for sure. That doesn't make any sense. But at the same time, though, sometimes in life, you can invite a woman around, okay, to your accommodation that may not be the best accommodations, right? And sometimes they can walk in and be like, you know what, baby, it's okay. I can make this into a home. You know what? In fact, if we move this there and move that there, we can probably make more space here. But don't worry, I'm going to hold you down. So if you're in a situation where you can meet someone like that accidentally or whatever, fair enough, it is what it is. But generally speaking, no man should ever go out of his way to try and bring a chick to his house to live with him if he knows that his place is only really enough for just him. But if she decides that she wants to be a part of it, that is fine. And that's why we talk about Sophie in this situation. Now, if she didn't know about his leaving arrangements being like this, which obviously this is where Rob had to make sure that he was in a better place. But for him to not want to admit that and to always go on the defense of the freaking 600 pound life sub story, like, bruh, you're boring. Stop. Get a grip. Grow up. Hey, we continue. Don't forget to like and subscribe though. Come on now.
It's just a slap in the face because life been hard as and y'all two sitting here trying to tell me what I should be doing. Still want better. I'm not satisfied.
I feel like Rob is jealous about my upbringing. I feel like he tells me all the time how he's had it really difficult and I should be lucky that here's the thing, I'm very grateful about my upbringing.
To say that he's jealous of your upbringing, that's a very bougie thing to say. It's a very I'm feeling myself type of thing to say. I don't feel like it's a case of where he's jealous. I don't think that's his style in this situation. I just think that Rob he's in way over his head. He's decided to be with somebody that, you know, in his mind, he's probably panicking that he can't keep. He's panicking that he can't afford the. That's the grand scheme of it. The grand scheme of it. But it is what it is. It is what. To be honest, I'm pretty sure that if the mum was to tell her story, I'm pretty sure that her story upbringing is probably going to be similar to Rob's. I mean, but listen, I don't know, man. Let's continue. I do know, but listen. I mean, listen. Somebody asked me before last week, "Hey, Maddie, like you're from the UK. You told me is Sophie actually somebody that's actually posh?" No. And I said, "Nah, man. I don't get that vibe at all. She comes across as if her mum is probably one of those people that just work like, you know, basic job, but she always made sure, you know, that her daughter was always, you know, fed and her daughter was always looked after." Because to be honest with you, one thing that I can definitely, well, one of the many things that I can give credit to a lot of people in the UK, you know, that are good parents. It doesn't matter whether they have small money or not. They will do what they can to make sure that their child is spoiled. And make sure their child's always got fresh clothes on, Even if it means that they're working and not even eating themselves, or if they're working and, you know, in their bed at home, whatever, they would make sure their child is always looking dapper. And that's something that I've always respected from, you know, a lot of parents, especially the British parents in the UK, to be honest with you. That's something that I've always really, really looked at and admired to this day. So if anything, I don't think that they come from a posh background, to be honest with you. I just think that mom's always made sure that her daughter's always been, you know, looking top of the brim. Even if mom's had to work extra shifts in whatever job it could be, whether it's retail or, you know, supermarkets or whatever, I don't know. So, but either way though, I don't think Rob would even care. If the mum said, "Listen, you don't know how hard I had to work to make sure my daughter always had the best of the best," he probably wouldn't care. Because his thing would be, well, at least your parents, at least you did it for your daughter, but my parents didn't do it for me. You know what I mean? Because he's like kind of envious person. Which I guess maybe does bring in the jealousy thing that Sophie is kind of relating to. I mean, saying, so I guess maybe he's jealous. Who knows? Who knows? But I think for him, he's probably jealous in the aspect where he thinks that they're generally posh and they're generally like, if you're rich, which I don't think that's the case, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if mom had a little bit of a government guidance. You know what I'm saying? But don't get it twisted. A lot of single moms in the UK, even if they're not working, or even if they're not working mad hours, they find ways to still have money to put food on the plate of their children and make sure their children look good. But those are the ones that are good ones, not the bad ones. I'm not advocating for all of them, okay? Only for the good ones. But yeah, let's continue.
This weird resentment to me that I was raised differently from him.
I'm so depressed if I was so upset at what I don't have. I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
Listen, I apologise if it pissed you off what I was saying. I'm not gonna take back what I said. I apologise that I raised my voice with you, so let's just leave it at that for now.
It feels like Sophie's not on my team. She's gonna go stay the night with her mom now after we just had this huge argument. Instead of worrying about, is Rob okay? She doesn't care. She cares about what she's thinking. And now her mom is co-signing her, so she's co-signing her mom. They're just on the same team together and they're feeling good. They're feeling Rob better fix it. There's not one thought in Sophie's mind right now about, that's my future husband. Maybe I should be worried about fixing this.
I mean, listen, I do understand what he's trying to say here. I feel him in this one. In this situation, you wanted to be you and your girl against the world. I just think that Sophie, what she should have done is never played a mediator. I mean, no, she should have been a mediator. I reckon in this situation, she should have been like, "Listen, okay, mom, you said what you got to say. You said what you got to say. You know what? Let's just agree to disagree, and that's it." She should pick the side. The fact that Sophie picked a side tells me that this woman does not love him. The fact that she picked a side, it tells me that she doesn't care if she loses him. Because why are you picking a side for? She didn't have to pick a side. Could have easily played neutral in the conversation. She could have been the one that could have calmed down the situation, stopped it from escalating. But no, she picked a side. So I understand how Rob is feeling in this scenario. So Sophie, I feel like this kind of gives us a little bit more evidence to say that maybe her feelings for Rob aren't that in the right place. I'll let you guys let me know about that one. As far as I'm concerned, I'm gonna leave mid by saying that Sophie is not into Rob. Sophie does not love Rob. Yeah, but let me know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of